and welcome to episode 109 of the Graceful Tangle podcast. I'm Amy Kate. Thank you so much for joining me today. I have quite a few things to share with you guys this week for the podcast episode, and it's going to be so much fun to walk with you through them. If you haven't already, please be sure to subscribe to my channel, and then don't forget to hit that notification bell so that you don't miss out on any future videos. I also have so many links down in the description box below. You can find links to the show notes for this episode, and then also some specific things that I'm going to be talking about today, pattern shops, Dishcloth Make-A-Long information, and yeah, a whole bunch of other things as well. So definitely check out that place if you haven't. But yes, I am excited to be back with you guys this week as always. Today is actually Thursday, June the 9th, potentially? June 9th. I typically film on the weekends. You guys probably know that by now. I usually film either Saturday or Sunday and then upload the actual podcast on Tuesdays. It's kind of been my routine for the past 2 years that I've been actually filming these podcast episodes. However, we are going out of town this weekend, and so I wanted to go ahead and film the episode so that I have quite a few things to share already, and I didn't want to push it until Monday and have to just figure out work and everything else along with filming a podcast. So just kind of eases the stress levels just a little bit. But yes, it is a beautiful day outside. I've been waiting all day actually for the sun to come out so that it would be better lighting for filming purposes, and it finally did this afternoon. So here we are. It's a beautiful day and a great time to chat about all of the making content. So let's go ahead and hop into it today. I do not have any finished objects to share. I'm going to glance down at my show notes. No finished objects to share that aren't designs. I do have one FO that I'll share in a little bit, but I do have a work in progress that I would love to talk to you guys about. So let's go ahead and jump into the making content with some whips. Okay, so I only have one work in progress to share this week that isn't a design, and it is a new Tunisian crochet project that I am just having so much fun with. So I have mentioned this person quite a few times before, especially the past few months, but I am making a pattern by Tony of TL Yarn Crafts. I've made like a few of her patterns now. I made I can't remember the name of it, but it was a pillow that I made. I was part of her Tunisian crochet book tour. It was a book that she published that is absolutely amazing, and so she hosted a little book tour over on Instagram, and I was so honored to be a little small part of that, and it was so much fun to make that pillow. And then after that I decided to make the tote bag that's in the same book, which is called the Kensington tote bag, I believe is how you pronounce it, and I just shared that as an FO last week. And then this week, I've been itching to learn some new Tunisian crochet stitches. I've pretty much mastered the simple stitch. I actually have a couple of designs with it. I have another one that's going to be coming out soon that uses that same stitch. And I love the Tunisian simple stitch because it doesn't look like knitting. It's just a very unique stitch to Tunisian crochet. It's so much fun to do. And yeah, I just really, really love that stitch. But all that said, I have been itching to just kind of learn new things, learn new Tunisian crochet stitches. I am falling more and more in love with this art, and I want to grow my skills in it. So I am making her Mercy claws. So she has two different sizes in this pattern, a like hand towel or dish towel size, and then a washcloth or dishcloth size. And I am making the washcloth / dishcloth. I think I will actually be using this one for a washcloth because it is white, which I realize is not the wisest part on my wisest idea of mine, but I really love this color white, and so I wanted to use it anyway. And I knew that it would show off the stitch pattern so well. So anyways, all of that to say, I am making these cloths, and along the way I learned how to do the smock stitch, which is what this stitch is called. It looks so cool, and it is so much fun to do. Tony is just a wealth of knowledge. She is absolutely amazing at Tunisian crochet. It's one of her just strongest attributes in, at least my opinion, and I think she would say it of herself too, just as a designer. And it has been amazing to kind of watch her just through social media release all of these amazing patterns and grow. But at the same time, it's even more special to be able to create some of those patterns. So anyways, I'm having so much fun with this project. Obviously, it's very small. It's not a big project by any means. But I'm excited about it. And I actually am hoping to continue to learn new crochet stitches by making dishcloths. I just think they are the perfect small project to learn something new, you know, get better at a specific skill perhaps, and then actually create something extremely useful and durable along the way. I just think it's amazing. If I am ever in a position or given the opportunity to actually teach a knit or crochet class, the first project will 100% be washcloths. It's just easy and manageable. Everybody uses them. And yeah, so anyways, little tidbit there, but nonetheless, I'm having a lot of fun with this project. And I'm definitely excited to continue working on it. I think I'll probably turn it into a little set as well, like maybe make 3 or something. Just because what's the point of one little dishcloth when you can make many? So yes, I'm excited about it. It's been very fun to learn that new stitch. And yeah, it's been a blast. So that is, like I said, the only, oh wait, one second. The yarn that I'm using is Dishy, We Crochet Dishy. I've talked about it approximately a million times at this point, but this is the colorway Swan, I believe. Yeah, and it's just a really pretty white. It's like a little more muted, kind of an off-white color. I just really, really like it a lot. So I wanted to use it, and I thought a dishcloth would be, or washcloth, I guess, in this case, would be a good opportunity to do that. So, okay, like I said, that is the only work in progress that I have this week that isn't a current design. So I guess, I'm not going to share it this week because I haven't made a whole lot of progress, but I have pulled out my scrappy blanket to work on. I currently have 3 scrappy blankets in the works, one that uses worsted weight acrylic yarn, one that uses bulky or super bulky acrylic or other various blend yarns, and then one that uses cotton yarn, and it's the granny stripe one. So I really want to get these scrappy blankets done. They are so much fun to have on the needles, but I have just been itching to kind of pare things down a little bit and finish up those big projects. So I am making myself the goal to spend about 30 minutes every day working on that blanket, and I think if I stick to that, it's not going to take long for it to get done at all. Like, I'm kind of just waiting until it's as tall as I am, which is not super tall. I'm 5'1", if you're curious. So I don't have too much further to go, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun to just take a little bit of time every day, or, you know, almost every day, and work on that project. So I think I will share that next week. Today was my first day doing that, and it's also still over at my desk and in a mess because I had to stop abruptly. So I will plan to share that next episode for sure. So anyways, that's it for works in progress. Let's go ahead and talk about some designs that I'm working on lately. So design-wise, I have quite a few things going on per usual, but I have also made such good progress on projects this week, and it feels so incredibly good. Especially since I was nervous that I wasn't going to have a whole lot of time to create this week, just with school really picking up and work, of course. I was just, I don't know, I didn't know if I'd have a lot of time, but it's amazing what you can get done when you just work hard and try to be productive and prioritize the time that you do have. It's a pretty good feeling, I'm not going to lie. Okay, so the first thing that I have is actually complete. So I have mentioned the past few episodes how I'm going to be updating my Success Socks pattern. I designed this pattern, I believe, last year, and it is fine. Like, you can absolutely download it for free in my shops still right now, and it would be perfect, but I want to make it a little bit better. I want to change out the layout just a little bit, kind of in line with my current sock patterns, and update the photos, just little things like that to kind of give it a facelift. And so I made these socks to do that with, and here's what they look like. So I used Ruby and Roses yarn, my friend Addison. This is, I believe her colorway is called Summer Nights. Excuse me, goodness. I could be mistaken on that, but I think that's right. But it is so beautiful. It's got so many speckles. It's on a very pale blue or white background. It's just so pretty. These are so much fun to knit up. Yeah, so they are done. That pattern is going to be updated in the next couple of weeks and kind of re-released. I'll, of course, post about it on all the platforms and just kind of re-promote it isn't really the right word because it is already published, but just kind of, I don't know, give it a facelift. That's like the best description that I can come up with. So yes, I'm excited to have those done. And then speaking of socks, I am also still working on this pair that I am designing with Eden of Crafting Quick and Made's yarn. This is such a gorgeous set, and I am so excited to be using it for this sock design. So I shared this one last week. I have one sock done minus the heel. I will be doing afterthought heels on these, so I haven't done those yet. But it's got this really pretty cabled design on the front. You can kind of see it there. It's a little bit bright, I think. But anyway, so that's one sock. And then I have made quite a bit of progress on the second sock this week. So I started it this week, and I've made that much progress. I'm hoping to get these done within the next week. And then this pattern will be coming out in July. So definitely stay tuned for that. But they've just been so much fun to work on, and just kind of think about Eden as I am doing it. We honestly will probably never meet in person. I live in Alabama in the U.S. She lives in Canada. We are so far apart, but it is so special to have a friendship with somebody just through social media and the internet. Like, it's just really amazing. So anyways, it's really special to work on this project with her yarn. It's so fun. So that is that design. I'm really excited about it. It's going really well. I'm proud of it. Okay, now this project I shared last week, but there's been a little bit of a change just design-wise that I wanted to mention really fast. So, I started this blanket last week. I think I'm probably whipping out. Oh no, I did it. Yay. I started this blanket last week, and I have put a little bit of work into it, but not much. I'm currently working on a second blanket as well, and it is definitely getting the priority in terms of blanket making. And I, of course, had the genius idea to work on a third blanket too. So this was just kind of on the back burner, but that is totally okay. So this blanket uses the ripple stitch, or at least my version of it. And I am really excited about it. I've been planning this for so long. And I knew, like, as soon as I got the yarn, I knew that I wanted to use this stitch. And I think a blanket is going to be the perfect opportunity to do that. However, one thing that I wanted to note, so I am keeping track of just, kind of the stitch counts and the basic idea of this pattern, but I will not be releasing it as my own design. This pattern is just really basic. It's not super unique. It's literally like the same exact row forever and ever. And not only that, but I am confident that other designers out there have designed patterns that use the same stitch pattern that are probably blankets. I actually saw one on Instagram accidentally, and I can't remember who the actual designer was now. It honestly might have been Tony from TL Yarn Crafts, but I can't quite remember now. My point is, I don't feel comfortable releasing this out to gain profit from it because it's just not my own design. Like, it's not my own stitch pattern. Maybe I changed, a couple stitches here and there, but it's just not enough to publish it, write it all up, make the entire project, and then try to sell it for $4 a pattern. I just don't feel comfortable doing that. So, what I will be doing, though, is keeping track of what I'm doing, making the entire project. I'll get some pictures at the end of it, and then I'll post it as like a free pattern or just kind of free blog post type thing on my blog. So if you want to know exactly what I'm doing for this blanket, if you want to know, my exact stitch counts or the exact amount of yarn that I used or whatever, I will put all of that in the blog post. But that way, it's just like a free way for all of you guys to be able to see what I did and how I designed it. But I just feel more comfortable, like, in my gut, releasing a pattern that way in this case. So, anyways, I just wanted to put that little tidbit out there. So this is not, like, my own design. I'll be sharing it in probably the works in progress segment going forward. I did not intentionally, copy or use somebody else's idea or anything like that. I just really would hate to risk that. So, anyways, that's where we're at with this design. It's going great. I'm so excited about it. But yeah, it'll just be a little bit of a change moving forward with this project. Now, the yarn that I'm using is Yarn Bee, which is the Hobby Lobby in-store brand, and it is called Tweed Indeed. So I'm using 3 different colors. This green is called Ocean Tweed, and then the purple is called Grape Tweed. One of these days I'll just remember all of these, and I won't have to get them out of the bag. And then this one is Blush Tweed. It's very, I mean, Great Blush Ocean. Come on, Amy Kate, you can remember that. Yes, I love this yarn. I'm having a lot of fun using it. The project has been a blast so far. I am a little bit concerned about the width, if I'm being honest, because it seems a little big, and I really don't want to run out of yarn. But I think we're going to be good. I think it's going to be okay. And I'm also using a size J hook. This is from my Clover and More set that I am obsessed with. I love these hooks. Cannot speak higher things about them. As far as crochet hooks go. But yes, it's been a very fun project so far. Okay, last design that I'm currently working on, and it might honestly be my favorite project right now because it is just so special. So I am designing this blanket, and it is going to be for my brother's 16th birthday gift, which is in July. So I've really got to get a move on with this blanket, but I have made so much progress since last week, and I am in the groove now. Like, I am just loving every single stitch. Here's what it currently looks like. So it's going to be squished on the needles forever because it's just how I prefer to work on blankets. I don't really like them all stretched out because if they are, you have to like continually shove up the stitches. And I just really don't like doing that. So if they are on shorter needles, then might be practical. But here is what the stitch pattern looks like. Oh yeah, you can see it so perfectly. Yay. I just love it. This has been so much fun to work on already, and it's going great. I have been listening to a sermon series recently, and so I have just been working on this project while listening to those, and I'm aiming to do a repeat a day, which is about 8 rows, but hopefully there will be many days when I do more than that. There's going to be a couple when I don't do any, I'm sure. But yeah, my goal is to get it done by July 11th, which is his birthday. July like 9th would be perfect because then I can get, you know, pictures and actually get the pattern done before I give it to him. But we will see. We will see on that front. But honestly, blankets are just so much fun and special to make. I kind of posted about this briefly on Instagram recently, just as a story, but every single time I start a big blanket like this, it becomes like sentimental almost. So like I just put so much work and time into crocheting or knitting a blanket, but I mean especially knitting. This is size 8 needles and worsted weight yarn. It is not a fast knit by any stretch of the imagination. But I just get to think about him and pray about him, or you know, whoever the recipient of what I'm making is for. And it is just it's so cool. I love it. And it's also just like such a therapeutic thing. Like you just kind of get into the rhythm of spending 30 minutes to an hour working on this one project every day, and it's like always there. And because it's a blanket, you memorize the stitch pattern pretty easily because it's so, I mean it doesn't have to be, but for this one it is pretty repetitive. It's one big repeat. So anyways, I am just really enjoying it. It's been so special to work on, and I'm really excited to continue to do so. The yarn that I am using is, where's the stain? Right here. Knit Picks Brava Tweed, and this is the colorway Stratus. So it's a really nice gray, very gender neutral, but I really like it for Caleb. I think it's going to be a really good color. It won't show, you know, dirt or stains or whatever very easily, but it's still like a light enough color that it'll kind of match whatever quilt or bedspread or whatever he has now and in the future. And yeah, it's going really, really great. So like I said, it's been a lot of fun to work on. And I'm excited to continue doing just that. I had a couple other design things this week. I did release the Joyous blanket today, actually, on Thursday, but if you haven't already checked that blanket out, I would love for you to do that. It was, again, such a special project to work on and design and create, and I hope that you guys love that pattern as well. And then I also, so I think I mentioned this, but I'm not entirely sure. I submitted a pattern to Recrochet for a collection that they have coming out later this year. I can't give any details about that or the pattern itself, but I can give a little update, as in I finished the first draft of the pattern and my personal sample, and so that is now in the tech editor's hands, which is amazing. I'm so grateful and thankful for that opportunity. Again, it's amazing. I'm so grateful. So anyways, that's about it for Design Talk this week. But I do have a devotional and life update to share, so that I hope, wow, I don't know what I was going to say there. So I hope you decide to stick around for a few more minutes. So I have my computer right beside me, so if you see a little bit of extra electric light. That is what that is. But I wrote kind of what I wanted to say today in the show notes for this episode, and I wanted to be able to reference them if need be, because it just kind of eloquently said what I wanted to say today, and I wasn't sure I'd be able to, just on camera instead of when in words. So quite honestly, I could talk for hours about life currently. Just the season of life that I'm in is a lot. It's so good, but it's a lot. And I wish I could just, kind of talk and give any encouragement that I possibly can through it, but I only have a few minutes. So we will stick within that constraint. But honestly, after a long and hard season, after a situation that happened last year, these past couple of weeks have just felt more confident than ever in the season of life that I am in. And for me, that means a season of singleness, a season of finishing semester, or finishing this semester of college, but then just college period. I'll graduate in August. I'm in a job right now that is so special, and it has its hard days for sure and hard moments, but it is the best opportunity God could have given me, and I am so incredibly grateful for it. And then on top of all of that, growing this business and just staying so devoted to Him through it has been not easy necessarily, but so beneficial and so encouraging daily to walk through this life with Him. So Hebrews 12 verses 1 through 3 kind of talks a little bit about this, and it says, "Therefore, since we are surrounded by such a great cloud of witnesses, let us throw off everything that hinders and the sin that so easily entangles, and let us run with perseverance the race marked out for us, fixing our eyes on Jesus, the pioneer and perfecter of faith. For the joy set before Him, He endured the cross, scorning His shame, and sat down at the right hand of the throne of God." And then verse 3 says, "Consider Him who endured such opposition from sinners, so that you will not grow weary and lose heart." I feel like that passage, and so many other places in the Bible as well, just kind of say in such an encouraging way how we are supposed to do life with Him, how we're supposed to run the race, if you will, for just to use that analogy, but it's so much more than that. We're supposed to be continually devoted and surrendered to Him and His plans for our lives. So whatever season of life that you're in, whether it's something that's similar to mine, and I know this is something that I talk about in a whole bunch of little devotional segments, but I just think it's one of the best ways that I can encourage you guys. But whatever season of life that you're in, whether it's similar to mine, whether you are, in that season of singleness, whether you are in a relationship or whether you are married, just to speak on relationships, or maybe you are a mom, or there's an endless amount of seasons that you could be in. And whatever season that you are in, I pray that you are continually fully devoted in that season. I've been reminded lately, first of all, I've just been encouraged by, I mentioned it a minute ago, but the sermon series that I've been listening to has been on just kind of relationships in general, and just how to approach that whole situation, and what to expect and what to look to give in that relationship. And one of the ways that I have been most encouraged personally is just that this season won't last. And there's an excitement to that, but there's also like a feeling of butterflies you get. Like, okay, am I learning all that I'm supposed to be learning right now? If this were to end tomorrow, am I ready for that? I felt that I have learned all that I can, and that I am fully devoted and grounded in the Lord, that I will stay strong through Him in whatever this relationship looks like, whatever is ahead. And I have felt encouraged by that personally, and maybe you can relate to that in a different way. But yes, there is so much more I could say, but just to reference another verse, James 1 talks a little bit about that too, and I wrote that in the show notes as well. James 1 tells us to count all our trials as joy and hold on to faith, so that we may be mature and complete and lacking nothing. And I just think that's an absolutely beautiful way to put it. Like, we're always going to need to learn more and feel the need to know more, because we are. I mean, we're not all knowing. We will never know everything there is to know about anything, whether that's crochet or knitting or yarn or following Jesus. We won't know it all. But there's also something encouraging about knowing that there's more that we can know about our Heavenly Father. So I hope that it was encouraging for you today. I know that it was kind of all over the place because there's so many things that I want to say and I just can't say them all. But I hope that you are having such a good week full of so much making. I would love to hear what you are working on in the comments, or if there's something that you want to go into more detail in, you know, your life or a project or a question or whatever the case may be. Don't hesitate to send me an email. I have an email address linked down below, but it's also thegracefultangle@gmail.com. Really simple. So definitely don't hesitate to reach out, and I'll get back to you as soon as I possibly can. I hope that you all have an amazing week. Thank you so much for just being here and watching this video every week and supporting me. It means so much. Again, thank you for watching. I hope you have a great week, and until next time, happy making. Bye.